coverage nationwide.
It's time for Coach's Corner on KCCR AM 1240 and 98.9 FM. Coach's Corner, live from the Long Branch, is brought to you by Kruger Contracting, Avera St. Mary's, Bank West, Fording Electric, and Gales Gas. Coach's Corner is also brought to you by Edward Jones Financial, Gateway Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Midwest Co-op, and Oahe Federal Credit Union. Coach's Corner is also brought to you by Lamb Motor, First Dakota National Bank, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, and Wagner Auto. And now, live from the Long Branch in downtown Pierre, it's award-winning KCCR Sports Director, John Winkler.
And from the Long Branch, we welcome you here to another edition of Coach's Corner, as we will be joined with Coach Steve Steele of the Pierre Governors here in just a couple of moments. Also be joined with Coach Tiffany Stosher, the Pierre Governor volleyball team. We'll talk with Coach Mark Seffner of the Sully Bees Chargers, and then Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes. We'll have all that for you here on this edition of Coach's Corner. Don't forget, we have the NL Wildcard game coming up after we're done here live from the Long Branch with Coach's Corner, starting at 6:30 between the Cardinals and the Dodgers. We'll come back and we will talk with Coach Steve Steele of the Pierre Governors. You're listening to Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
For an excellent choice to meet, greet, or eat, be sure to head to downtown Pierre and the Long Branch. The Long Branch has plenty of room for the big groups, cozy spots for that intimate setting, and you're going to love the selections and variety on their menu. Plus, their specials are sure to please. There's a fantastic variety of libations available, and it's a great place to unwind. Now, home of KCCR Coach's Corner Wednesday nights, come on down to the LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pierre Street, downtown Pierre.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre still wants your trade or your spare vehicle, and we're willing to give you top dollar. And we'll throw in an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Sell us your car, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Trade in your vehicle for a new or different one, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit GatewayFordToyota.com.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Oahe Federal Credit Union member? At Oahe Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Oahe Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Oahe Federal Credit Union.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
As we welcome you back here to the Long Branch, joining me is Coach Steve Steele of the Pierre Governor football team as they are looking for 6 straight wins. You guys are looking for your 6th straight win on Friday night as you take on the Watertown Arrows. And before we get to that point, last Friday, the Huron Tigers came to town for homecoming, and we talked about it beforehand. You said you're happy when homecoming week is over. Well, you probably really enjoyed homecoming week this year because you had a couple of records broken offensively, defensively, 1 touchdown allowed, and that's kind of how has been the average that the defense has allowed, which gives the offense a lot of chances to miss, but they didn't miss on Friday. There's a lot of good stuff that happened on Friday.
Yeah, it was a fun game. One of those ones where early on you just don't feel like you can do anything wrong. And we've been fortunate to have a couple of those homecoming performances, over the past 6 years while we've been here. But can't say enough about our guys and our coaches and our fans. Everyone came out ready to go, and it makes it really easy to keep that momentum going when you feel the energy, down at the field, and everyone just kept it going, So I think everyone did their part, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you had Lincoln Kenols break a passing record for the most yards. He threw 8 touchdown passes in a single half. So, yes, you obviously were going to take him out after he gets 8 touchdown passes, but if somehow they still had to play, the starters had to play that second half, he's on pace for 16 touchdowns in one game. That is unheard of, and that is a lot of touchdown passes, but he was on fire. Jack Merkwan was on fire. He had 7 different receivers that caught a pass. And Greg and I were talking about it. We talked with you, too, that the 7 guys that caught passes for him, obviously you have Merkwan who caught 4 touchdown passes, but all those guys that were catching touchdown passes and just catching passes, those are pretty good number 2 options, even number 1 or number 2 options that are almost 6 and 7 because of, and really not, but we're 6 and 7 in the pass chart of the day because of the fact that you got a lot of good skill position guys. Yeah,
and that's how good we can be when everyone's on. When Lincoln's not missing, he's throwing really good balls. Our line's giving him time, and we're not dropping anything. I mean, we've got a lot of really good options. Where my brother get a kick out of this. Back in NCAA football when that was a thing, and it sounds like it'll be a thing again.
Right.
But when that was a thing, that's like year 5 of dynasty mode when you get your guys. We always take over some small team, and you recruit and you get all these guys, and then about year 4 or 5, you're just a dynasty because you've got those guys at every single position, and you're putting up video game numbers because that was a video game. But to do that in real life is pretty fun.
Yeah, and they were video game numbers, especially in just one half for all those guys. But you took care of business, got the 61-7 win over here on night. You take on the Watertown team, and we'll talk more about that in the pregame on Friday, but we'll talk about it here as well, that Watertown poses some problems with their receivers and a chance for a big play for this Watertown team.
Yeah, they've got one receiver that's just exceptional, Cole Holden, number 3. He's their guy that they go to when they need a big play. They do a really good job formationing you into kind of having to put him in a one-on-one situation. And it's not dissimilar to what we do with Jack, where we kind of force teams, hey, you're either going to dedicate 2 guys to him and let us do something else, or you're going to take your chances there. So they do some similar stuff with him, and their quarterback's got a good arm, and he's got some good mobility back there. He can kind of maneuver within the pocket and buy some time, but that Holden's a dangerous kid if you give him an opportunity to get down the field on you.
And this Watertown team has been a little bit up and down. There's times where you look at their record and you're going, you look at one win, you're saying, how's this team around 500? Then you look at another loss and you're saying, how's this team at 500 right now on the other reverse side? But it's a team that can be very dangerous, and if you eliminate the big plays, obviously for a lot of games that helps you out, but you eliminate the big plays, that's a big reason why they've lost those games so far.
Yeah, they haven't really done a whole lot of long drives this year. They've had a few, but they've really made their living off of hitting number 3 on the deep ball, and then their running backs got some serious breakaway speed. So they'll kind of run some dive, run some zone, and just kind of take their couple yards here, a couple yards there. But then all of a sudden when he breaks one, he's gone. So it's an important thing for us to keep him in those 2 and 3 yard plays and not let him escape. And, if he does get loose, get him down at 10 yards, because if he gets much past that, it's going to be really hard to tackle him.
They play some pretty long games as well. We've gone off the air after our post-game show, which is a good length. We pack all our equipment up, then we get in the car, and we can still listen to a little bit of that game if we stream it. But they play some long games. Does that factor into how, knowing that, does that change anything, how you guys game plan at all?
Not a ton. I think it's one of those things where the style of every team is just a little bit different, and I think that it's all down to who can make you play that style. So, if they can drag it out, I think it definitely could be something that makes a difference, kind of similar to a Huron. Huron likes to play the opposite of that. They like to play the quick games that are 4 possessions each and we're out the door, and Brookings will be the same way. And I think that's a really good example game to discuss is that Brookings-Watertown game where Watertown wanted it to be a super long game and Brookings wanted it to be over in 45 minutes, and Brookings won. It was over really quick. It was, I think, 16-0, and there wasn't a whole lot of offense. It was just watching the guy run the clock and getting the ball down and running it again.
And, again, that game coming up on Friday nights here at home, 7 o'clock for kickoff. Pregame will start at 6:30 here on KCCR. You can watch it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Greg Dean will join me for the call of that one. Let's talk about you a little bit here. You practice gets a little physical, even sometimes for the coaches, and especially for you today.
Yeah, I got a little blood here today. But, no, it's fun. I said the coaches always try and do as much as we can with the kids, and we're working some ball security. And, Jet Zabel is very physical. He's probably one of the ones that didn't need this drill a whole bunch.
He's had 2 brothers to kind of help with the physicality.
Yeah, so he definitely lowered it on me, and I said he got me pretty good there. But, like I said, it's a good drill, and I said it's all in good fun. All the kids really enjoy whenever our coaches can participate in any of our drills, just because that just elevates the care level. You don't want to lose to your friends, but you really don't want to lose to your coach. So it's a lot of fun for us. And, like I said, it's fun for us too, to kind of relive those days a little bit and just have fun pretending we're still athletic.
Do you blame Peyton or Gray, or is it all on Jet for something like that happening?
Peyton would never have done that.
But do you blame him for making Jet more physical right away like that, and Gray to beating up on him?
Definitely Gray.
Well, yeah. And hey, but Jet Zabel at the tight end position has done a fantastic job for you. Blocking, catching balls, was really kind of the go-to guy, especially in the first game, and will be in the next couple of years as well. Over these next couple of years, be a good option, already is, but will be a good option continuing. One guy that maybe potentially be getting involved, and of course you hate the fact that he doesn't get to play on Saturday with the soccer team, but because the boys' soccer team lost, maybe does Cole Peterson get a chance to, with his blazing speed, get a chance to maybe fit in with the offense or defense?
Yeah, and it's definitely one of those things where now, we obviously he didn't do anything other than kick,
right.
Until soccer season was over. And now that it's over, we're going to kind of explore and see what we can do with him, because he's definitely got a skill set that's very valuable to the football field. So we've just kind of we've got a few different ideas, and we'll kind of test them all out a little bit each way and kind of see where we think he fits in best. But, we'd be crazy if we didn't try and find a spot to use his ability.
I know that guys maybe aren't as fast with the pads and helmet and all the gear on like they don't really have in soccer. But just watching him in soccer this year and the last couple of years too, it looks like he's actually flying on the field. Like legitimately, his feet aren't touching the ground. When he gets the pads on and everything, does it still? And we've kind of seen it. I don't pay attention as much on kickoffs and stuff, but he's been involved. He's trying to be physical when he gets a chance on the kickoffs. And I'm sure Coach Manriquez and you are probably going, ease up, Cole. There, we need you to play some soccer still. But does it look like that when he's got the helmet and pads on too?
Yeah, he doesn't shy away from contact, But the biggest thing, his acceleration is crazy good. So he can get, if he's running a route, he can get to the guy covering him really, really quick. He can narrow that gap and take away a lot of time and space from that regard. But then it's almost like when he gets to the breaking point of a route, it almost looks like he's just doing an agility ladder. So, as a defensive back, you just have absolutely no idea where he's going, but you've got to figure it out because he's there. And then by the time you do figure it out, he's behind you, So, he's definitely got a lot of fun abilities that we're going to tinker with and kind of see where we can fit it in.
Take on Watertown to the Peer Governors on Friday with kickoff at 7 o'clock. Pregame will start at 6:30 here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Before I do let you go, before we get into what it's going to take to knock off the Watertown Arrows, I asked you last year and the last couple of years, the baseball playoffs started. I know you're not as big of a baseball guy as you are in hockey and football, but with the baseball playoffs that technically started yesterday, so you have one less team to pick from, so you only got 9 now to pick from. Who's going to be the World Series champion?
Do you want to hear the craziest thing, how I'm going to pick this?
Yes.
There's only one team that I'm aware that's even in the playoffs right now, and that's because I saw that they won last night.
Oh. And you don't know that there's another team by just sitting here looking at me right now.
I refuse that one.
Okay? Well, I'm just saying you know that they're in the playoffs because I'm wearing a shirt with their logo on.
I was wearing a Red Wings shirt today.
Yes,
that doesn't mean anything.
But the season's almost starting for hockey. But go ahead, make your pick. Is that who your pick's going to be? Boston?
Yeah, we'll go with the Red Sox.
All right. Well, we're done talking with Coach Steve Steele now. Okay, Boston Red Sox. That's fine. I'll make fun of you next week. Whenever, actually, you might make fun of me.
Well, I picked the Twins, but I think the last time they won a playoff game was
before we were born. No, it actually was.
I wasn't going to say anything.
No, DT's not going to talk to me tomorrow now. So, but we are talking with Coach Steve Steele, the Peer Governors, as they will take on Watertown on a Friday, 7 o'clock kickoff, 6:30 pregame. Before I let you go, and that last question is, what's it going to take to knock off the Watertown Arrows on Friday night?
Defensively, we've just got to force them to drive. No big plays. If we can limit those defensively, I think we'll keep them frustrated on offense. And then offensively, we've got to be okay not going for the big play and being okay, being methodical, running 10-play drives down the field, and then cashing in when we get there.
Coach Steve Steele, the Peer Governors, appreciate the time as always. It's good talking to you every week, even though you picked the Red Sox to win the World Series. We'll talk again on Friday before the game, and we'll talk again. We'll talk tomorrow because we got their picks going for tomorrow. So, which you're not, whatever. We're not going to talk about that.
You just got to have a list in front of you so that you can just roll down. We'll talk to you.
Yeah. Well, I could just say we'll talk to you tomorrow just because I talk to you almost every single day anyway. But appreciate the time as always, and good luck on Friday.
Thanks, John.
Head coach Steve Steele, the Peer Governor football team, as they take on Watertown on a Friday, 7 o'clock kickoff with 6:30 pregame here on KCCR. We'll return with more Coach's Corner after this on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Dale and DT here for the LB.
Dale, the Long Branch offers variety, live music, and drink specials to help you unwind.
True, but you have got to try one of the most diverse menus available.
Got to get in a shout-out for their wings, some of the best in town. Tuesdays, they have wing specials and a killer selection of flavors.
And now, the LB is home of KCCR's Coach's Corner. Wednesday nights up on the big stage.
Come for the food, stay for the fun. The LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pier Street in downtown Pier.
There wasn't always a windmill in Millbank or a vinegar museum in Roslyn. Someone had to paint the graffiti mural on the Turtle Creek Spillway. And before First Dakota filed the first charter in 1872, you couldn't bank in South Dakota. Every timeless institution, tradition, and thriving business was started somewhere by someone who had a dream and the passion to make it happen first. What will be your South Dakota first? Visit firstdakota.com/first. Member FDIC.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
When you want the best prices and best selection, go to Wagner Auto in Pierre. The certified sales staff at Wagner Auto will provide you service after the sale and how to get easy financing. Check out their website, WagnerAuto.com, or stop in. They have the best prices and won't be undersold. Wagner Auto has the region's largest selection with over 280 new and quality pre-owned vehicles. GM certified pre-owned vehicles give you peace of mind with their 12-month or 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Log on to WagnerAuto.com or stop by Wagner Auto in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer since 1907.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
And we welcome you back here live at the Long Branch as we welcome in Coach Tiffany Stosher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team. As Coach, it is good to talk to you again, and after a win last night against, I've completely drawn a blank, Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. You got a sweep against them. Second time you guys played them this year and got another sweep. Let's first talk about that game. What was your overall thoughts on that win?
I thought that was a good win for us. Really minimized our errors. I thought the last couple of games we've had, numerous serving errors, numerous hitting errors, and we really minimized those while still staying aggressive. So I was pleased with the performance offensively. Went aggressive and just played some clean volleyball.
And to be able to get the win, after a 2-game skid that only 3 losses in the season, so losing 2 in a row is obviously going to be the biggest losing streak that you've had. But to be able to nip that in the bud as quick as it started is also a good sign for your team, right?
Yeah, we needed that. We needed the confidence back that we had in the beginning of the season, and winning brings that. So this was a bounce in the right direction, and I think that our girls, winning is fun, and they remembered what that felt like. We kind of got a little bit off kilter there with 2 losses in a row, and so brought them back. You could tell they were out there having a good time and just playing together, and that's what got us going at the beginning of the season.
And now when you look at it too, just 2 more road games left to go in the season, and obviously if where you're sitting at right now would host a Sodak 16 game, so you get a chance to travel tomorrow against Huron, and then next Thursday against Yankton, and then the next time you travel, you want to travel because that means you're in the state tournament. But that's especially in a long, grueling season that everybody is in, when you get a chance to be at home to end the season as long as you guys can possibly be, that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice to know that we've got home games coming up because the rest of our season is really good competitive teams that we're not going to get a lot of points for winning. They're rated, a little bit lower than us right now, so they're not going to give us as many points if we win those games. But if we lose those games, it's going to hurt us tremendously. So it'll be nice to have some of those at home, a majority of those at home. I think it gives us a little edge, definitely a little comfort. Same court we play on every day. So that in itself is helpful for home court advantage. But yeah, just to finish out the season, being able to, with that crowd around us, and what a fun way to end the season.
Yeah, and that one big game left Harrisburg on the schedule right now, and obviously that is not the next opponent. Huron is on Thursday. And the good thing is from Tuesday through Thursday, or from Thursday to Tuesday, there's still a good chance to have 2 practices in between on Friday and Monday, and even on Saturday as well. But it's not a back-to-back where you might be overlooking Huron getting ready for Harrisburg. You guys are prepared for Huron knowing that you get a full weekend before you get to Harrisburg.
Yeah, that's right. We have to prepare for Huron. They're underrated. They are absolutely underrated. And so we spent a lot of time watching film on them and went through a lot of things in practice today. And they're not a team I want to play twice, and we do play them twice within 2 weeks. So never like to go to Huron and play. They defend that court better than any home team. That's the hardest gym to go in and play. The depth perception, it is difficult to play. And we talked to the girls in practice today that Huron, opposing teams, when you go to Huron, you make a lot of serving errors because of the depth perception of that gym, and the lines are light colored, and it's hard. So we're going to go there. We're going to travel there and play Huron the best we can, and then know what we need to turn around and come right back. We will have a little time to prepare for Harrisburg. definitely going to be a battle, and we're going to need to bring all that we've got. And then followed up by Yankton, who I know you're going to see that move up in the rankings. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a home court at Sodak by the end of their schedule. They've got a easier second half, and they had a really tough first half of the season. So the way I see it, we have 3 games right in a row that are just going to be uphill climbs for us.
And they played, Huron did play yesterday and got a win at home, and that just adds to what you're saying, that they defended well, because it was, I can't remember now the team who it was off the top of my head, but there was a good team. It was a quality win for I think it was Watertown. Well, they were on the road. They beat Watertown on the road. But that's still a good quality win to beat Watertown on the road, not just win at home, but have to win that on the road. That's a quality win as well.
Yeah, it is. They did that in 3 sets, too. So Huron's ready to go. They've made some changes. They switched their setter and they switched their libero, and those are big positions to be moving around, and they did that, and it's working for them. And watched a lot of film, and we worked on some things today that I think we're going to be successful doing. I think we identified some possible weaknesses that we can capitalize on. So we practiced it. We're prepared for this game. It's just whether or not we go out and battle like I know we can.
And talking about battling, you guys nearly 50 kills yesterday against Aberdeen Central. That's out of 75 points, getting 50 kills. That's some pretty good offense for you guys.
Yeah, we did a nice job. Our outside hitters, Avery and Rem, I think they accounted for 2/3 of the kills yesterday. We set them a lot, but what's working is the way you got to go, and it was working for us. So we just kept going outside. Tomorrow, I think that'll have to be different. We need to bring our middles in. McKenna and Reese are perfectly capable of putting hard balls down, and we're going to get them in the game. And Jenna and Lily are doing a nice job from the right side. So it won't be so much outside setting. Their block will be a little bit more established than we saw yesterday. But when you find something that's working, you just keep going there.
I was going to say, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And for the Governor, at times in different games, you've seen that be the case. And if it was Avery, or if it was Remy, or if it was the middle hitters as well with Reese and McKenna, it's amazing too, because I think I look back to the Mitchell game and look back to some other games that everybody in the Jim knew what was going to happen. We knew where the ball was going to go, but you guys have been that talented and have been that good that the other team even can't stop it. When they know it's going to one person or the other, they still can't stop it.
Yeah, it's nice to have people like that on your team. And I watch it time and time again. I know that teams are dialing in on specifically Avery and probably now Remy. I mean, she had 14 kills last night. You can't look over Rem at all. So they know, they cheat their middles over. They have 2 people up on the block, and she still finds a way to plow through and make good attempts with her hits. So, and Remy's doing the same thing. She's quicker than most blockers, so she gets up and more times than not can hit in between the 2 blockers. She just finds a keyhole and places things well. So we'll keep those 2 rolling as much as we can, but we're comfortable knowing that we've got people to fall back on, great hitters to fall back on if it's not working out for them.
Talking with Coach Tiffany Stosher, the Pierre Governor volleyball team, as they take on the Huron Tigers tomorrow night on the road, one of the last 2 road games of the season, and you can hear it here on KCCR, and you can watch it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Coverage will start at 6:40 with first serve at 7 o'clock from the Huron Arena. This is a spot, and like you said, too, the schedule, it doesn't give you a whole lot of points for the wins, except for maybe a couple teams. But these are still dangerous teams. Yankton, a dangerous team. Huron, obviously, tomorrow, a dangerous team. That it probably is some games are a little bit more trap games now, instead of being, we're going to play some really competitive, really good teams. Everybody's competitive, but some really top-notch teams in AA. They kind of be. Do you feel like there are a little bit of some trap games in the last part of the season?
Yeah, there is some trap games. I'm not looking forward to, 1 through 16, there isn't a team right now that I feel comfortable, really, really comfortable playing in a SODAC game. I mean, 1 through 16 is tough, all of them. There isn't an easy game. Their records don't mean a lot to me. They're all improving, all getting better. You see them knocking off teams you don't think that they should. The scores against, from a number 1 to a number 10 school, the scores could be 25-22, and those are close games. A couple things don't go your way, you lose that set. And so anybody from 1 through 16 is tough. And so the fact that we kind of feel like we have to win isn't a fun feeling to have. We don't get a lot of points for winning, but we lose a lot for losing. And so it's stressful. I've got to try and keep the mentality at, we're just out there playing our game, having a good time. And when we do that, when we can keep that mindset, we play really well. But when they go from having a good time and playing together to knowing we have to win or trying not to lose, we start to see things fall. So it's going to be a mindset, and we're going to have to go out every game in the appropriate mindset.
Yeah, and having a home crowd for a Sodak 16 game, or just in general to finish out the season, probably helps a little bit. Maybe it causes a little bit more nerves, but it causes that the mindset to be we got to perform well. We know we can perform well and want to perform well in front of the home fans.
Yeah, it's something we've never done before.
Yeah.
So I can't even tell you how fun it's going to be, but I can only imagine. It's going to be exciting. I think that they're loud and they're not completely full. So we fill that place. They've got tunnels, they've got brooms. They're just full of excitement. They're dressed up. Parents are excited. It's just full. You look up and it's just full of green, and that's a really good feeling and makes you comfortable and makes you know that you're supported. And so I can't tell you how exciting that would be. We don't have a guarantee yet, but we feel that we're getting closer.
Yeah.
And so it's a good feeling to have.
Right, and as you have, you just look at the season as a whole right now, just go and take care of business, and you will have that opportunity. You control your own destiny, be able to be one of probably the top 5 teams in the state, being able just to go out and play your game, which is fantastic, and a chance to go back to the state tournament, which hasn't been done in a couple of years, and would be great, and it's going to be great to see this stretch run. Obviously, we were talking about this, and we still got, it's still over a month away before the Sodak 16 game, so we're not quite there yet, but it is starting to get to, you start to watch the standings a little bit more after each game and trying to see if anybody falls or anybody moves up after a win or loss.
Yeah, you do a little bit of mental math, or at least I'm starting to. We're a whole point ahead, or we're, 0.2 points ahead, or whatever it may be, and then look at their schedule and see what they've got coming. And you can get pretty wrapped up in it if you want to. And even when I think I'm pretty good at math, but even when I do the math, it doesn't always go how I calculated. So just kind of eyeball it, but definitely know that, gosh, you feel a little bit more comfortable if you're in that top 5, but how hard it's going to be to stay there. And so, we just go game by game. The only thing we're talking about today and right now is Huron. That's the only thing that we can talk about because that's going to be tough enough. And then we'll take on Friday and we'll talk on Monday to prepare for later games. But right now, Huron's what's on our mind, and Huron's what we're preparing for.
You're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station as we're past 6 o'clock. And before I let you go, let's talk about Huron real quick. What's it going to take to knock off the Tigers? The first of 2 meetings, but being on the road tomorrow, what's it going to take to knock them off?
Yeah, I say aggressive every time. That can't stop. I thought yesterday we had to attack all the time. This time I think we can vary it up a little bit. There's some open areas on the tip. There's some open roll shots for us, and then combine that with some hard swings. So we also want to get our middles involved a little bit more. I think there's some open areas. I saw Watertown have some success hitting out the middle yesterday. Not be so dependent on our outsides. They have 2 great outside hitters, Roselle and Ghost. They're good. One's like Remy, quick and gets up and swings, and the other one's like Avery and has a big power swing. So worked on the outside block there, and then they of course have Emily Dale, that a good middle that's going to swing around quite a bit, or she's going to hit that 3 shot. So we prepared for it, today, and we prepared for them on Monday a little bit. It's going to take us to be able to play point by point, and try to win the game to 10 and try to win the game to 15 and just stay mentally focused for the whole hour and a half.
Coach Tiffany Stosher, the Pierre Governor volleyball team, they take on Huron tomorrow night, 7 o'clock for first serve. We'll be on the air at 6:40 on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Coach, I appreciate the time as always. Good luck tomorrow night, and this is a really fun team. It's always fun talking to you, and I need to kind of get myself back a little bit because we're not quite. I don't want to get to the end of the season quite yet. I know that's the exciting time, but this has been exciting to watch this team all year, and I know I'm getting excited for it, but just enjoying the ride as it goes along.
Yep, it has been a great ride, and it's hard to wait. I wish I knew what our end of season outcome is going to be, but that's part of the fun, and so we'll just take it game by game and set by set, really, and I think we're going to do some good things.
Coach Tiffany Stosher, the Pierre Governor volleyball team, will return here with more Coach's Corner. You're listening to Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
DT and Dale here for the Long Branch in downtown Pierre. The LB is a great place to kick back, relax, and unwind.
It has been for years, and it has a fantastic menu for lunch or dinner. Love that variety.
Yeah, good point. But we would be remiss if we didn't tell you about the best wings in town.
Tuesdays at the LB, try the delicious wings. And the more you buy, the more you save. The LB, the Long Branch in downtown Pier. Now the home of KCCR's Coach's Corner, Wednesday evenings.
It takes hard work to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than just sports. It also goes for your financial goals. You work hard for your money. You deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. Your local Edward Jones financial advisor can help. If your investments aren't getting you closer to the win, visit edwardjones.com or stop by your local Pier area Edward Jones office for a financial review. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
At Avera Health Plans, health insurance is more than just coverage. It's about making connections. We connect you with quality health care so you're covered when you need it. To health coaches and nurses who help meet your health goals. And to a quality network of providers, specialists, and 24/7 virtual care. Our focus is on your everyday well-being. Wherever you are along the journey, choose our health plan with connections. Connect with your agent or visit averahealthplans.com.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre still wants your trade or your spare vehicle, and we're willing to give you top dollar. And we'll throw in an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Sell us your car, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Trade in your vehicle for a new or different one, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit gateway4toyota.com.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
As we welcome you back to Coach Live at the Long Branch, and joining me is Coach Mark Sefter of the Sully Butte Chargers as they take on the Langford area team this coming Friday. But Coach, let's talk about the difficulty that you had having to face Harriet Selby area, and maybe we'll talk about that game in just a second. But you guys played 3 weeks prior to that. You were supposed to play Sunshine Bible Academy, had them forfeit, so you didn't play. Then you had the bye week next week, and that it's very tough for a team at any point, especially in the middle of the season. Just how tough was it to try and work through 2 full weeks of practice out of the game and then start to get prepared for that Harriet Selby team?
Well, it was kind of awkward, because we went Friday and then Friday with 3 weeks in between. So you don't get that very often, but, we tried to become more physical. And, seeing that Stanley County game, 2 turnovers, a lot of penalties, 4 turnovers, a lot of penalties, and then just not playing physical ball. So, we went back to the basics and tried to get physical, tried to clean up our game a little bit. And then, we had a JV game with Iroquois in that bye week, but that gave our JVs some confidence because we won that game 38-0. So just getting the JVs on the field and not having them practice as scout team, that was good for us.
Yeah, and you took on the Harriet Selby area team, but that JV win is a big one, being that lone game of football in between the two, between Stanley County game and then the next varsity game, because that's a tough. Harriet Selby area now undefeated, still undefeated at 7-0. You don't shy away from competition. You'll take whoever you're gonna play, but for any team at that point to have 2 weeks off of games and then go against a very good Harriet Selby area team, and you give credit to them for a well played game on Friday to win, but that's really, really tough to do, and I think people might understand that, but they don't really know just how tough that is.
Yeah, bringing your kids out to practice for those number of days, things get kind of monotonous, and you got to switch things up. But our kids took it as a challenge, and we didn't come out and play very well against against Harriet Selby. But we hung in there with them. We went to the end of the third quarter. So, with our quarterback and middle linebacker, he got injured on the first play of the game when we had the ball. So, toughness to Landon, but now we got to move on, and we got to find a new quarterback.
Yeah, Landon Hepker went down with an injury, and being a 9B school, it's hard to have even just the numbers to have a JV guy come in and play quarterback for you. So you had to move things around, and only 3 seniors on your team. So what was practice like? How has practice been this week, leading up to Friday's game? To put a guy, I hate to use the word replace, because you never replace a guy, but you got to put someone in that place. So how has practice been to find someone to fill in the role of quarterback for the rest of the year?
Well, we had been going with Wildcat with 3 guys, and we put one of them up on the line, and then 2 in the backfield in shotgun, and Thomas Ferris was one of them, and he's going to be our quarterback for the rest of the season, hopefully. And we were looking to him to get some things done. He had been running the ball. He had been, he was kind of Mr. Everything for us. He played receiver. He played tight end. He played Wildcat quarterback, and if you remember back to the first game, he was a running back. So he had been in 4 different spots this year. So to have him come and fill that quarterback position, I think 4 positions, now 5. So on the air.
Again, talking with Coach Mark Seffner of the Solebu's Chargers as they take on the Linkford area Lions on Friday. It is senior night. The 3 seniors will be honored. Dwight Kenny, and then the Shaw brothers, Jesse Shaw and Jordan Shaw, be honored for playing for the Solebu's Chargers. But DT Meyer have the call, 7 o'clock kickoff. You can hear it on Country 95.3, PureCountry.com, and you can watch it on YouTube at Country 95.3 Sports. Coach, it is tough because being a 9B school, you don't have a whole lot of guys that can kind of fill in spots because they're just because of the numbers that you have, not even because you don't have a guy that can be that to fill in, but you just don't have the numbers. Having Thomas Ferris now move into that quarterback spot, then takes him away from a receiver or running back position. Obviously, you can still have him run the football, but take him out of the receiver and tight end position. How difficult is that now to kind of basically move pieces around a little bit more. Obviously, injuries are always a thing with football in every single sport, but when you have to deal with this injury, how difficult is it now to move another guy around and find those pieces and put those pieces together?
Well, we have to definitely move some younger kids in, and we're looking for another tight end, but to get the ball into Thomas's hands, that's a plus for us. So anytime you can do that and get it into the players' hands, we're looking forward to that. So hopefully Thomas has a good game, and we're playing a 9B school just like us. Lyman's 9AA and Harriet Selby's 9A. So to play a 9B school at this time, that's a plus for us.
Yeah, and go ahead.
I just wanted to mention that our videotaper will be honored too. He's a senior, Colin Bradbury. So he's been with us for 3 or 4 years, and just does a nice job videotaping the game.
Yeah, and that's a key position too. That's not something, again, people think that they just kind of overlook it, but you got to have someone that knows what they're doing, kind of keeps a good eye on the field and pays attention too. That's the big thing, is just being able to pay attention and make sure that that film is good for you guys, because that's a big key to help you out. And for Langford area this week at 1-5, you're probably studied that film quite well and get yourself a good game plan. What's it like, Langford area? What do you see from them?
A lot of diversity. They'll line up in different formations, and they'll throw a lot of things at you. So we're going to have to be prepared, and have our coverage right, because they'll go 2 by 2 with 2 receivers on each side, and then the next play will be I formation, and then it'll be back to 2 by 1. But just seeing the keys will be big for us. We moved our defensive end, Jordan Shaw, back to middle linebacker. So that's going to be a new position for him, and then Dwight Kenny is going to take over at defensive end. So we're working on spots where people haven't been. So that's what we're working on, and hopefully we can come away with a win.
Again, talking with Coach Mark Seffner of the Solebu's Chargers. Langford area is the opponent on Friday at 7 o'clock for kickoff. DT Meyer will have the call on Country 95.3, purecountry.com, and you can watch it on YouTube at Country 95.3 Sports. Just 2 games left to go in the season. Coach, it's always fun talking to you and to get a chance to catch up. But before I do let you go, we just talked about Langford area. You're looking for that win. What's that big key to get the job done, to get the win on Friday night?
Well, I would say that the people in the new spots, they just got to play well. Read the keys, take care of business, and try not to make mistakes. So hopefully we can do that.
Coach Mark Seffner, the Solebu's Chargers. Again, they take on Langford area at 7 o'clock. DT Meyer has the call on Country 95.3. Coach, as always, I appreciate the time. Good talking to you. Good luck on Friday, and we'll talk again soon here, as the season is quickly coming to an end, but it is always fun catching up and talking.
All right. Thanks, John.
Back with more Coach's Corner after this here on KCCR and on back with more of Coach's Corner after this, here live for the Long Branch on KCCR.
For an excellent choice to meet, greet, or eat, be sure to head to Downtown Pier and the Long Branch. The Long Branch has plenty of room for the big groups, cozy spots for that intimate setting, and you're going to love the selections and variety on their menu. Plus, their specials are sure to please. There's a fantastic variety of libations available, and it's a great place to unwind. Now, home of KCCR Coach's Corner, Wednesday nights. Come on down to the LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pier Street, downtown Pier.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
As we welcome you back here to Coach's Corner on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports here at the Long Branch. Joining me is Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes as they get ready for their second to final game of the regular season. They take on the Sunshine Bible Academy Crusaders. But before we get to that game, let's go back to last week, your last road game of the regular season against Lemon McIntosh. You won 27-8. It's your second straight win, now 3-4 in the season. Have you liked what you've seen from your team the last 2 weeks, getting those two big W's?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I felt like we played our best half of football last week. We kind of jumped all over them, and we really did a nice job. The boys played extremely hard. You look at some of the stats from the beginning of the game. Evan Nordstrom had rushed for over 170 yards, and he had caught 2 passes for 60-plus yards, and that was all in the first half. We scored 3 touchdowns on offense, and we took a pick 6 to the house right before halftime. So, rolling into the half, we were up, 27-0, and we felt great. And the only trouble there was, we just had a couple kids get banged up. Evan had a little bit of a knee issue, and then Gavin Irving rolled his ankle pretty good right before halftime there. So it was tough sledding in the second half, but some younger kids got in and found a way to do just enough to win the game. So it was a good game for us, and learning experience for some of those younger guys. But yeah, I felt like we played some great football.
And those two guys, Nordstrom and Irving, how are they doing this week? Was the workload a little bit lighter for them? Are they going to be good again here on Friday night for the home game?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the plan is, we've limited them throughout the week here, and we've got a terrific trainer in Sam Nas, and he does a great job with our kids, and we're just kind of easing them back into it. We don't want to, with the playoffs just around the corner, we don't want to, push it too fast and that type of deal. So it'll be more of a game time decision for both of them, but we're practicing as if, we're going to, not have them for Friday night. That way, if they do play and they're able to go, great. And if not, we've got younger guys ready in different spots.
And as we look at your opponent on Friday night, the Sunshine Bible Academy Crusaders, they come in having not won a game yet so far. And we look at some of the common opponents. Well, the good and bad news is, well, I guess there is some good news. Potter County was a game that they have played that you guys have both played. The other one was Sully Buttes, who you played, but they didn't play because they were having a forfeit. But were you able to take anything from what you saw against you guys with Potter County and then what Sunshine Bible Academy did against Potter County and maybe draw a little bit from that?
Yeah, for sure, a little bit. It's one of those things, too. I tip my hat to those kids. We're almost in the same boat as they are. They started their season with, I think, just over a dozen kids on their roster, and they're trying to play when they can play. When they have enough guys to go field the team and get out there and go play football, they're trying to go play. And that means that at some spots they're really young, and then at other spots they're really athletic, talented players. So, football is a hard game, and it's made even harder when you have, less than adequate numbers. And they're in that spot where, I think in the last film that I watched, they dressed 11 boys to try to play a 9-man football game, and we don't have that many more kids than they do. But I'm just happy that we'll get to go out there and hopefully get some of our younger guys some time and kind of show off what they know and what they can do.
Yeah, and a team like that, you like to see every team have a good number, just as a standpoint of just playing high school football. But knowing down the other side, and there's only so much to feel sorry for them until game time happens. Then you want to take it to them, and just like any other opponent, do you want to take advantage of that, of having just maybe 2 guys on the sideline to try and sub? You want to try and take advantage of maybe running a few more plays a little bit quicker than normal, or do you? What do you do with that? How do you take that into your advantage?
You know what? I think the most important thing for us is just to kind of build on what we did last week. I felt like, we played our best football last week in that first half, and then we had to, sub some different guys in some different spots. But now that those guys have, a week's worth of practice under their belt. We expect them to play, up to the level of other guys that they're playing behind. So it's one of those things that, we can't really control anything that they do as far as how many kids they have and who they decide to play where, but we can try to build on, the good things that we saw last week. And one of the other good things, too, was, we only turned the ball over one time last week, and we forced 3. So, all of a sudden in these couple wins in a row here for us, it's much easier to win when we've had positive turnover margin with both teams that we've played. So a lot of really positive things, and probably some new faces that will be playing on Friday night, but at the same time, us as coaches, we've got high expectations for our kids, no matter who we put out on the field, and we look for them to play as hard as they possibly can.
Yeah, and how about that positive side on the turnover differential and have 2 wins is probably pretty easy to kind of explain to the guys, and pretty understanding the fact that you don't turn the ball over, you give yourself a pretty good chance to win some ball games.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's one of those things, too, with the senior team that we have, with a lot of seniors that have played a lot of football, it's an easy comparison to make. You see some of the games that we lost earlier in the season, some very good teams, and then you look that, oh, man, we turned the ball over 4 times, and they didn't turn it over once. And you can point back and see, oh, okay, well, there's why we lost by 3 touchdowns. It's an easy comparison to make, even for some of our high school boys here. So it's fun. It's fun to be able to be these guys' coach and to see them, stick with it. At one point we were 1-4 and we lost a close game. We've been blown out a few times. These kids could have, put their heads down and kind of powdered it out and just tried to get through the season. But instead they're resilient and they fought back, and all of a sudden we've won ourselves a couple games, and we're starting to gain a little bit of momentum heading towards late in the year here.
Yeah, and these 2 games against Sunshine Bible Academy and Dupree to finish out the season are 2 big ones to get. Maybe the seed points aren't as high as you'd like it to be, but they're still going to increase your score. And being in the 14th spot right now in 9AA, those 2 wins could move you up a couple spots. I mean, you look at the standings right now, and obviously things could change by the time that well, it won't change by the time this airs, but this will change by the time next Monday rolls around. But even just a couple of wins could put you all the way up to 12th, and maybe a couple losses from another team, you drop. Then all of a sudden you're going up to maybe 9 or 10, and things are going to be tough in the playoffs. No matter what seed you are, you got to go out and earn it. But to get a little bit of a higher seed, these 2 games are important to make that a possibility for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one thing that we talked about, especially when we kind of dug ourselves a hole record-wise at the beginning of the year. We've really stressed, just trying to be 1-0 at the end of the week. And if we can do that, and all of a sudden, we've won a couple games in a row here, and maybe we can make it 3, and maybe we can make it 4, and all of a sudden that momentum and that confidence is a funny thing. It's good for those high school boys to be able to feel that. And us as coaches, we know the talent level of our boys, and we know what we expect out of them and where we could be. And we know we haven't shown that at times, but we know it's there. So I think it's important for our guys to have some success. So, like you said, build that momentum. And, there's other things we can't control, like the seed points and stuff like that. But what we can control is how hard we're going to play on Friday night. And I look for our guys to play extremely hard.
Again, talking with Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes as they take on Sunshine Bible Academy on Friday, 7 o'clock, kickoff at Ole Williamson Field. And before we wrap things up, I mentioned that these last 2 games are against the Crusaders and then also Dupree, but they're both at home, and a chance to play in front of the home fans to finish out the season, the last 2 weeks of the year, when guys are getting tired. No bye week this year, which help you out, especially in these last 2 weeks, to try and increase that seed point score. But when you look at the possibility, being able to play at home right now, how important is it? Because guys are getting tired. It's a long, grueling season, but to be able to get into bed and sleep as soon as you possibly can after a game is over, that's going to make a world of difference, especially this time of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of those things too. Like with our long bus ride coming back from Lemon last week, it was made easier by the fact that the boys had played so well and we managed to win the game. But it's so much nicer just to be able to be at home and be in front of the home crowd, and judging by the seed points and everything else, even if we're fortunate enough to make the playoffs this season, I don't think we'll be hosting. So it's a good opportunity for our seniors to play a couple games in a row here in front of the home crowd and really enjoy that as we're, like I said, trying to build some momentum rolling into the postseason here. So super happy for these boys and how hard they played last week, and really looking forward to building on some of that momentum going into Friday night.
And let's finish off with how Friday night's going to be. What's it going to take to knock off Sunshine Bible Academy on Friday night?
Yeah, I think it's going to take some of our younger guys stepping up, and they're going to have to, fill some different roles. And yeah, it's going to be varsity football, and it's going to be a different experience for them, but I think it's going to be a great opportunity for them as well. We've got some different guys playing in some different spots, and we're going to be counting on them to play well. And I look forward to those guys growing and maturing, and that's only going to make our team better in the future for this season and beyond. So I'm really excited. It's adversity. It's difficult. It's something different. It just seems like it's been every turn this year has been tough for us, but I think that we can kind of build this and kind of get this thing heading in the right direction. And like I said, hopefully be playing our best football by the end of the season here.
Coach Max Voth of the Stanley County Buffaloes. Coach, I appreciate the time as always. Good luck this Friday as they take on Sunshine Bible Academy at 7 o'clock at Ole Williamson Field in Fort Pierre. Good luck, and we'll talk again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
Back with more Coach's Corner after this here on a KCCR.
Dale and DT here for the LB.
Dale, the Long Branch offers variety, live music, and drink specials to help you unwind.
True, but you have got to try one of the most diverse menus available.
Got to get in a shout out for their wings. Some of the best in town. Tuesdays, they have wing specials and a killer selection of flavors.
And now, the LB is home of the KCCR's Coach's Corner. Wednesday nights up on the big stage.
Come for the food, stay for the fun. The LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pier Street in downtown Pier.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
And we welcome you back here live at the Long Branch for one last time as we wrap things up. And again, thanks to our coaches, Coach Steve Steele, the Pier Governor football team, Coach Tiffany Stosher of the Pier Governor volleyball team, Coach Mark Seffner of the Sully Buttes football Chargers, and the Max Voth of the Stanley County Buffaloes, as all three of those football teams will play Friday night. And, of course, you can hear the Pier game on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, the Sully Buttes game on Country 95.3 and on YouTube at Country 95.3 Sports. Of course, we'll be on the air tomorrow night, 6:40, with coverage of the Pier volleyball team as they're in Huron for taking on the Tigers. 7 o'clock kickoff, or 7 o'clock first serve here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. It's now time for the Giants, for the Dodgers and the Cardinals. The winner will take on the Giants on Friday night in the NL wildcard game here on KCCR. You've been listening to Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch here on KCCR.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner on KCCR and online at kccrradio.com. Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch has been brought to you by Kruger Contracting, Avera St. Mary's, Bank West, Birding Electric, Gales Gas, Edward Jones Financial, Gateway Ford, Lincoln and Toyota, Midwest Co-op, and Oahe Federal Credit Union. Coach's Corner on KCCR is also brought to you by Lamb Motor, First Dakota National Bank, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, and Wagner Auto. Join us every Wednesday evening from 5:30 to 6:30 for Coach's Corner, live at the Long Branch in Pier or on air at KCCR or kccrradio.com. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports, Central South Dakota's sports leader.
To throw 200 innings this year in the entire major leagues, Adam Wainwright. What do you make of the Dodgers without Max Muncy? How big